Hello AVP enthusiasts, this is Jason the AVP Wargamer back with another video. Today I'm showing off my Predator collection. Let's get right into it. I've got a bunch of models here from a bunch of different companies. Some are licensed and a couple of them are not. But anyways, I will show you what I got here. Aliens vs. Predator, The Hunt Begins is a board game by Prodos Games. Prodos, however you say it. And right here is some Predator miniatures from that series. Now, these are converted. Originally, their arms were swapped. So I put the fist arm on this guy so he could be choking out a Terminator, which I added to it from a different game. And then I gave his spear to this guy to kind of make him a special elite hunter. So these are the guys that come in the original version of the box game. And so does this guy over here. And this guy right here has the plasma caster and some trophies. Here, let's get that into focus. There we go. So he's got the plasma caster and the trophies I added. Those are skulls from some Games Workshop skeleton warriors on some spikes there. And those spikes are the butts to some spears that I got in a bits box somewhere. But the rest of the model is pretty much how it comes, except for the base. I got the bases separately. Those were some resin cast bases I got from somewhere else. So those are the three guys that come in the box set. Now, if you got on the Kickstarter, you were able to pick up this lovely Berserker here. I painted mine with more of a copper scheme and gave him kind of white skin with some spots there. So pretty cool guy there. So he came with the Kickstarter exclusive version. And then we also have the Predator Hellhounds here. Here are the Hellhounds featured in the Predators movie. I did an unboxing of these guys not too long ago and showed how to kind of prepare the model and glue on all those little spiky bits. It looks like he already lost one of his spikes, so I'll replace that. No worries. They come with extra spikes when you buy them. And then here's the female Predator. Now, she has not been released yet to the public, and this one I'm still painting. She's not done yet. Everything else is done except for her and the young bloods. But yeah, so there's the female Predator. Her stats are exactly like the regular hunter Predator. So talk about equality. These guys have the same stats as the boys. So but she's a unique kind of looking model. And why do they have boobs? Well, I don't know. That's a discussion for a different video. All right, let's show you three more works in progress here. I've got the Predator Young Bloods. These models all come together in a set. And the one on the right here, he's the Chopper Predator from Predators. Aliens vs. Predator, the movie. That's kind of what his design is based off of. I kind of did a silver and copper kind of theme here. So that's almost done. And I got these two guys. The one on the right is very much like the Predator from Aliens vs. Predator, the video game. And the one on the left here is like from the like kind of a classic looking Predator from the Predators movie, known as the Scar Predator. So those are all the Prodos Games models that they currently have out for the Predators. Now we're going to go to the other ones. Now before we do that, I want to show you, I'm such a Predator fan. I made this back in the 90s. I used a Necromunda model and painted it to look like a Predator, and then did a terrible job sculpting a helmet for it and turned it into a Predator. Gave him the power glove from an Eldar, had him holding a skull. Terrible job on this, but I mean, back in the 90s, they didn't sell anything for Predators in 28mm, so I sculpted my own. Anyways, I thought that was a little piece of nostalgia there of something that I was so excited about Predators that I had to build my own little guy. All right, so now before Prodos Games had the license for those Predators, HeroClix had the license, and HeroClix put out these HorrorClix, which was a very short-lived game, but it's completely compatible with HeroClix. So if you do pick up some of these, they can fight Batman, Superman, the Fantastic Four, and Spider-Man, and anything that they made a clicks for. WizKids, had these guys so they could, potentially battle in that game. And if you still want these, they're pretty easy to get. They're not too expensive on eBay. I really like them because even though they're like game plastic, they're not that greatly painted and all that stuff. They make great conversions, which I'm going to show you next. I want to show you the originals first before I show you all the things I did with these. And all of these guys came in a full set. So you got like a ton of these dudes all in one set, including the Elder here. Again, look, terrible paint job, but the sculpt is awesome. And I'm going to show you all the cool stuff I did. Now this one is a special exclusive. You can see he's kind of invisible in parts. That was an exclusive that I picked up on eBay. This same sculpt also comes in the Queen Alien box set for Aliens vs. Predator HeroClix. It's the exact same sculpt, only he doesn't turn translucent. But I thought that was kind of cool, the way that looked. All right, so those guys move aside. I'll show you what I've done with them. So again, here's the that translucent one. I put him on a base and repainted him. And he's got a little bit of fuzz there. All right, so I kind of repositioned his arm a little bit and painted him the way I wanted. So you can see, they do paint up pretty well comparing to what they normally look like. So you can get a box of these guys and just do some conversions. And they're really easy to pop the heads off and change some of their parts. So this guy here, he's a conversion where that's the hand from the Elder Predator, and then that blade's from somebody else. You got little fuzzies on there. I'll pull those off. So anyways, there's that guy. Here's that kind of the same model, only I gave him a different head and gave him all the Elder Predator weapons. And then here's, again, another one that's similar, only I gave him the Predator Elder cape. And the way these guys are built, you don't have to do that much cutting, you just pop them apart. This guy I wanted to do kind of a obsidian, kind of black Predator armor. I love the way that hair whips around like that. You can see that was originally like that. All right, let's get to the Celtic Predator. I love the Celtic Predator. This one I gave him that black obsidian look. Gave him a cool base. I love the double wrist blades that are super long. Makes them pretty cool looking. And here's another version. He's holding the Elder Predator's staff and the shuriken. All right, and here's one. I wanted to do a little bit of battle damage on this guy. Paint some neon on there. It's got the spear with the alien head on it. And here's another one. I took 2 spears, broke them apart, and stuck them on there. I like the way his skin color turned out. He's pretty cool. And the netting's really hard. You kind of have to make up your own thing when you're putting the netting on these guys. Now this guy, I gave him a shield off of an old Saurus Warrior from Games Workshop. Again, I love the way the hair whips around on that particular sculpt. Here's another Elder. Got some fuzzies from the packing foam that I had him in. And this guy gave him like the Predator 2 kind of color scheme on his skin. Pretty cool. This guy, there, he's holding a chest burster, and I gave him a whip. That whip is from another HeroClix from the Danger Girls, from the HeroClix series that came out in the late 90s. But you can grab a whip off of any other model to give your guy a whip. There's my gunner. And those are using Dark Eldar guns. I gave him a little shoulder cannon there. And a gun. Extra long blade. And then here's my heavy weapons Predator. It's just an Eldar cannon. Gave him his shoulder pad, that's a jaw from an orc, you can kind of see. Then his axe was from some Games Workshop model. There's that guy. And then here's my Big Red. Big Red was famous from the Aliens versus Predator versus Batman from a video called Batman Dead End on YouTube. It's a fan film. And this guy has wrist gauntlets on the other side. Actually, I have a toy version of him. This was a fan-made Predator. And I decided to kind of make him like that. So I switched the arms up, gave him a samurai sword, painted him up to look like that guy. So, pretty fun. Big Red. That's a cool paint job, I think. Everybody should try to do that. Now, before all those guys were around, Ral Partha came out with a Hearn, which is obviously a Predator. Really cool model. They had a version without his mask, and then, of course, this version with the mask. And he came with extra bits to have the blades. The blades open or closed. And of course you're going to put the open blades on your Predator model. Really cool model. This is made out of pewter. I really love it. He's a little bulky, but I think he looks really cool. Now there's this other company out there that released a ton of Predator figures called the Predastore. I believe they've gone out of business. They probably got a cease and desist or whatever, because I don't think they were licensed. But they made these really cool models. Now they're itty bitty. They're like 28 millimeter, comparing to the 32 millimeter Prodos Games versions. So you can see they look like little Predator kids. At least some of them, not all of them. Some of them were really tiny. They were made out of resin. They're generally in the small range. This guy's a little bit bigger. This guy's more to the scale of what we need, but give him the right kind of base. I don't really care about the scale too much, as long as they don't look too far off. But like these guys going into battle together, they're not, that different. Of course, that's the big guy. Let's get a smaller one. You can see, they're close. Not a big deal. But this guy, I gave him a crazy base using bits from all sorts of things. Those spears are from some fantasy models. That's like a big bead. And that's a drum. That skull at his feet is like a drum from something. The mace I lengthened, though. The mace kept breaking off, so I took floral wire and glued it on so that this wouldn't keep snapping off. It's very fragile. Now, one of my favorite ones that they released was the Zombie Predator. And I added this doorway. This is from some old board game. And I glued it on here. A really cool model. And this guy's a lot bigger than a lot of those other Predators, too. And his arm's all fallen off, and he's dragging this spear behind him. The Zombie Predator. I thought this was pretty cool. I made up rules for this on Zombicide. So, you kill him, He turns into this, and then later he'll self-destruct. But yeah, I really liked that a lot. I thought that was cool. And then I made some little objective tokens here. This was just a T-Rex skull from some plastic toy kit. Put it on a base and painted it up. It's a nice little worthy prize for a predator. And then these little skull bases, these are way oversized for an objective marker. You can see, like, those must be engineer skulls or something. But you can use these. I got these at a Halloween store. Well, actually, no, I got these at Michael's Crafts during Halloween. They had little packs of these that went on clearance, and you could get a whole bunch of them. So I thought this would make great scenery. But yeah, they could be engineer skulls if you're worried about scale. Otherwise, they could just be objective markers. I know the objective markers that Prodos Games sells, they're kind of oversized too, so it doesn't really matter if it's an objective marker. And then if you're wondering what this is, this was a base for the Alien toy from I believe that was McFarlane Toys from Aliens vs. Predator. This was one of the bases for the Grid Alien, I believe, or one of the other aliens. I can't remember which, but I'm going to use that as part of my scenery for whenever I'm doing Predator campaigns with this tabletop war game. And now in my last video, I also had one of these guys. I'll just show this off really quick. This is a Corporate Commander. There we go. Corporate Commander from HeroClix. He's a big dude, but you can chop him up and turn him into a Colonial Marine or a Terminator. But again, this is from the HeroClix series. So yeah, HeroClix are awesome to convert. You can do a lot of cool stuff with them. You can see I have this huge Predator armor because of all these discounted HeroClix you can get off of eBay or at your local game store. And there's a lot of other stuff out there too that you can use for modeling. And I'll show more of that in another video. But for now, that concludes this video on my Predator army.